In this episode, we're moving again after the lifting of the initial lockdown due to the first wave of the COVID virus. We're sailing north along the Spanish Mediterranean coast from the Costa Tropical to the Costa de Almeria. In a side note, we have sold Chloe, and we'll go more into that later, but this video covers the time before the sale.
We are leaving Marina Park, Motril, which we must say is our favorite marina anywhere we've been. We stayed here during the entire lockdown. The friendliness and the helpfulness and the support from Roberto and his family, Roberto and Ma and Robbie, fantastic. We really recommend if you ever need help. These are really very good people, fantastic marina Park, Motril. These are the Sierra Nevada mountains in the background. They're about 10,000 feet and lots of veggies, agricultural producer and famous rum. The rum is absolutely fantastic and we consumed more than one bottle, but less than 10 as far as I can remember. Okay, maybe it wasn't less than 10, but it was delicious. One of the cool things about this place is it's very close to Granada. Granada's just over the hills here. That's the home of the Alhambra, which is well worth a day trip, but you have to book early. We were lucky because of the coronavirus shutdown, and we got in on the first day that it opened. Normally you'd have to book weeks in advance, but it's worth it. We're leaving Motril port now, coming up to the breakwater. And then we're heading off to Almerimar.
As we were leaving, we saw Rib speeding up to greet us, and it was Giorgio, our friend that we met in Motril. He works in the industry and he had just delivered a catamaran, and it was pretty early when we left, so we didn't get a chance to say goodbye, but he rushed out to bring us a homemade fid tool that he made for splicing. Thanks, Giorgio. We installed our Gennaker months ago, but this is the first chance we get to really test it out. And the weather conditions are perfect, it's just a slight downwind breeze.
You pull the green sheet in a little bit, just tidy it up. It's dangling in the water. It wasn't in the water. If I say it's in the water, Dawn jumps on it real quick. Very pretty.
We were really happy with our Gennaker after using it for the first time. It was pretty easy to furl and unfurl and to operate with two people. If you'd like to see more details about the installation or the performance of the Gennaker, we have two videos, a part 1 and a part 2, that covers these two topics. Unfortunately, the wind then died down to nothing and we had to put our Chloe sail away for another day. We only had 35 miles to go though today, so it's just a nice day sail up to Almerimar.
We can't use any sail today, and he's settling in.
I'm busy.
Who's gonna do the watch?
We didn't stop long enough to see the sights, but really want to highlight some of the areas as this is one of the key regions of Andalusia. Almerimar is a small resort town with a large marina, and it's near the regional capital of Almeria, which is part of the larger region of Andalusia. And it was historically the richest and most important port of Andalusia for the Moorish in North Africa, and their fortress is still there called La Alcazaba, which is similar to the Alhambra in Granada. The area is very hot and dry and has the only desert in Europe called the Tabernas, and it's the site of a mini Hollywood which has film sets that's produced hundreds of films, including lots of westerns like multiple Clint Eastwood films, Lawrence of Arabia, and Game of Thrones. Back at the marina, however, we had to focus our limited time on shopping at the chandleries for mooring springs, or compensators, primarily for stern-to mooring. After researching various brands, we decided to buy the relatively new In-Mare Near-Ride, as they're light, small enough for easy storage, high resistance, they perform well at absorbing any jerks while we're moored up, and furthermore, they don't stain or make annoying squeaky sounds like steel. Overall, we've been really happy with them.
Okay, we are leaving Almerimar. It was okay. A lot of liveaboard people, a lot of English influence, a lot of English cafes and English pubs. But we found some nice Spanish restaurants also. There's the Almerimar visitors dock and the marina office right there in the little lighthouse looking deal. Very easy buoys here. Yellow buoys guard the swimming area, not the channel. And then there are red and green marker buoys here for the channel. It's very shallow and susceptible to a lot of silting here, so everybody says go slow, watch your depth meter. You gotta round this breakwater head pretty close to avoid the silting area. Now we're gonna hang a left and head off to Aguadulce, if you pronounce it that way.
And we've got another short sailing day. It's only 20 miles to go.
Pika mix.
You're gonna turn into a pika mix if you keep eating that stuff. That's health food, isn't
Hopefully that one, not this one.
it? Yeah, you look more like that one. We're now just a few miles from Aguadulce. We're still going along under Jenica. Wind has picked up now to 14 to 15 knots. Jenica is now very happy and full. No wrinkles on Chloe's face. She's looking a little younger. Apparent wind speed 12 knots, 11 knots, and the angle is perfect for a broad reach, 135 or so. So this is where the Jenica is at its best, and it's downwind. Here's the entrance to Aguadulce beach, which is marked off with yellow buoys. Bunch of bars over there, and this is the port control office. Looks like a kind of lighthouse with the top chopped off. Visitors dock. Here, there's no depth issues that we saw. Stop here at the visitors dock or the gas station over there, and then find a berth. Very easy. Very dry looking cliffs up there, cut into the hillside by navvies. So we're parked up right on the quay here. Cafes and cold beer. Dawn, are you hot? What temperature are you? You look like you're about 500. Like there's the sun and then there's your face, and they're kind of comparable.
We've just arrived at the Aguadulce Marina. It's quite nice. It's easy to see the control tower. There's no security. You're right on the main road. There's easy access to bars and cafes all along the street here. The bathrooms are really close. It's right across the road here. A huge beach is basically on the other side of these buildings. And then the cliffs over here. Nice in the morning with the fog rolling out.
They look pretty dry. Lots of rattlesnakes. Maybe not in Europe though. Should we walk up there today, Dawn?
Oh yeah, and there's a hill up to the town, so we're gonna walk it. No scooters.
Yeah, it's not scooter friendly.
We could scooter back down. That would be fun.
Yeah, if we had good brakes, which we don't.
Come on.
The beach at Aguadulce, covered in tourists, mid-afternoon. And there's the marina behind there. And Chloe is over there.
Like many other Spanish towns along the Mediterranean coastline, Aguadulce is a tourist town and can double or triple in size during the summer. It's a place you can enjoy lazing on the beach, or long lunches with cold beer, or lots of nighttime activities at the clubs. One other notable feature of this area is its agricultural sector, as it has tens of thousands of greenhouses and provides veggies for a large part of the EU. It's a bit controversial though with the sailing community because they're concerned about the plastic that ends up in the sea from these greenhouses that's detrimental to marine life. Some good friends of ours recommended a restaurant called La Gruta, which means the grotto. It was just a short walk from where our boat was parked up in the marina, and was a unique dining experience not only for the good food, but for the fact that it was in a cave. The staff there was so friendly that they took us on a tour of the entire cave and the restaurant, showing us the fossils embedded into the cave, and even their bodega with their seemingly endless tunnel of wine bottles and other spirits.
It's 35 meters of large.
Yeah.
And it have capacity for 30,000 bottles.
Wow.
We have something like 140 different wine.
I had too much wine. I'm bumping off the bottles. I'm bouncing around like a cork. Oh my god, this is a labyrinth of wine.
We recommend La Garrucha and Aguadulce for any special occasion.
Okay, we are leaving Aguadulce. Yeah, no one's coming. You're clear. Absolutely dead. Go ahead. Turn to starboard. Goodbye, Aguadulce. It's a big Fontaine Pajot Cat. Yeah, I like the icon too. It's nice. Looks like a bird. There's a man about to do some Tai Chi, I'm thinking. No, he's Tai Chi-ing. There's the beach, Aguadulce. Not much wind this morning. Should pick up in about an hour. And we should get a nice Jenica day. Forecast and predict wind and ECMWF and GFS. All say 17 knots today, which is about as perfect as it could get for easy sailing. That was a simple stay. Easy to dock, nice place, bit touristy, not much special to see, but we did go to a fantastic restaurant. Really early in the morning and I've just had 3 cups of coffee, so I'm going to start to warm up, but we've just left Aguadulce and a bunch of people ask us about the visibility from the Helm and versus personal height. So I'll make an estimate of a height position from the Helm and show you what it's like to face forwards. So I'm 6'2" and a bit. My head's about 4 inches from the top bottom of the bimini. I'm standing right at the helm. Tons of visibility for me. This is moving to the center of the boat, so now the cockpit dodger's right in the way. So now I'm going to estimate if I was 6 inches shorter, that would be 5'8". It would be like this. I would not be able to see through that dodger, but I could see through the wee window, but honestly it's not that effective. But if I stand at the helm as a 5'8" person, no problemo. No problema. And if I lean out a tiny wee bit over the winches, then I've got tons of visibility to the edge of the steering wheel. So I've got full access to the steering wheel from here. I'm 5'8" tall. If I'm 5'5" like Dawn, she's a wee shorty. She's down here. So she cannot see through the center of the boat, but she's pretty well aligned on that little window. And if she comes out to the side, she's looking like this. So basically the answer to all of your questions, and it's several people asked this, I guess, is you just stick your head out to the left or the right and line yourself up with a foot off the center of the wheel, which is nothing, and you've got great visibility. I don't think it's a problem at all for really short people. And if I'm sitting down, that's the other question. So I'm sitting down now as a 6 foot something person. I can still see over the edge. I'm sitting right on the bench behind the helm. I sit down on the bench here in the middle. Yeah, can't see anything really. There could be a super tanker in front of us and we wouldn't see a thing, but we would hear the bump. A lot of moisture today. Air is just saturated and there's a thick haze out on the water. Everything is soggy. Toilet seat was cold and wet. which made Dawn unhappy. Were you unhappy, Dawn?
No, these seats are wet.
Oh, there's a bird there that's pretending to be a fishing pot. You fishing pot faker, you. Fly away. So we got a potential collision path here. We are here. Big frickin' ferry is here. That's where we would smash, right there. So we click on this. Martini Sola is the name of the ferry. And it says we're gonna miss the ferry by 1.2 miles. So no sweat. But it is chooching at 20 knots. So we're just gonna slow down a little bit, turn into him so that we'll increase that distance. Just to make sure he knows we can see him. Being a big ferry, he's running AIS and has firmly on his screen. So we're just letting him know that we're gonna turn without calling him on the radio. And there he is, appearing in the mist. So he should pass right in front of us at about a mile. Da-dum, 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 da-dum. Battle stations. Battle stations. We need one of those little whistles that, does the battle station thing. So there he is passing right ahead of us at about a mile as predicted.
We're really starting to get the hang of our new Gennaker now, and we've developed a process that works best, where I handle the sheets, standing up on the transom bench in the back, and Peter manages the furling line. It's a great full sail day today. We've got about 60 nautical miles to go, and plenty of time to practice using the Gennaker. And with our Gennaker, we're making really good time today. We're doing about 6 knots in a nice, comfortable downwind sail.
So we're over halfway to Garrucha and the wind died to about 4 knots. So we're having to engine now.
We arrive into Garrucha for only 2 nights, and though it has plenty of tourist activities, we notice that it's primarily a port for exporting gypsum.
Garrucha. We're gonna have a couple of Garruchas. It's all opening up again. Garrucha. You've got Garrucha?
Yeah, didn't you hear?
Well, they've got some special sprays and ointments for that.
Yeah, the test came back positive.
You've got Garrucha. Old pirate boat here with a travel lift. It's not something you see every day. I guess that's a little tourist trick boat that they're going to stick in the water now. We'll see. Really appreciate the depth of the keels on these square riggers. There's quite a lot of weight and depth under the water that you don't see. There are a large number of trucks just continuously driving up to a ship here to offload some kind of bulk material, and they just keep coming and coming and coming. I wonder what it's carrying. Dolomite or sand or something. This is Deck King, and it's essentially recycled PVC, and it is very easy to work with, easy to mill, easy to clean, very easy to sand. Just using a fine sandpaper, 180 grit. Okay, we're doing a repair to the vinyl wrap today. I couldn't find any YouTube videos on that, so this might be a useful thing for many people. So step one is to get the surface super clean and cut out a nice clean cut. So we used X-Acto knives. Sorry Sergey, this is yours. I stole it from your wine cellar. Pretty good stuff though. I've already drunk about 6 bottles. So we have some scraps of the vinyl wrap and some nice little custom patches, even some big sheets. There's 2 manufacturers of this, Avery Dennison from California and 3M from Minnesota. They're comparable products. And the key with an aluminum boat was that you take a color or select a color that is a matte or metallic. And so Chloe is both matte and metallic, navy blue, which gives a kind of a classic look, plus the metallic makes her look a little bit more swishy, modern looking. But the reason for that is, as opposed to a gloss, is that it will not show up any imperfections in the plating of an aluminum boat. Cut out a piece with a knife and a flat surface, and we poured some liquid epoxy into one of these seats to give us a nice cutting surface for cleaning fish and for doing projects like this. This is a video about a screaming woman as a boat is crushing her legs. Don't bite your fingernails if you want to put vinyl wrap on a boat. Now you put in as much pressure as you can on the surface to activate the adhesive. Got a mesh of bubbles of adhesive on the back. Yeah, it's very, very close though, isn't it?
Yeah.
And only to the trained eye would you see that. Dawn's very good at this kind of stuff. She has patience.
One of us does.
One of us has patience, the other one has no patience. You see guys on YouTube doing this on cars. They use a hairdryer a lot to stretch it, but only for going around really irregular surfaces. You can spot the patch. See, you can't. But you can spot the muddy fender bits. This mud and stuff comes from the slime line ropes that you just can't get away from in the Medi. So God knows what that is made from. The mind boggles. Here's Chloe parked up in Garrucha with our new Jenica sitting there. Nice shiny new sail. We're not going to take it down today because we're only here for 1 day. Normally we would remove it to minimize the amount of UV exposure, but the weather forecast tomorrow when we're leaving looks fairly benign, so another Jenica potential day.
Well, that's all for this episode. Thanks for watching. Continue with us on our next episode as we continue up the Mediterranean Spanish coast towards Cartagena, which has become one of my favorite Spanish cities.